Hi, Bo here from High Tech Investment, and welcome back to the channel. In this video here, we're going to have a closer look at Solar Farm version 2.0. A lot of things has happened since its launch back in June 27th. So it's about 5.5 weeks old now, and definitely it's going on the right track, even though there is a few hiccups. There is a bit of a roller coaster, especially on the TVLs, the token value locked, that are providing a bit of a headache, obviously, for the developers and also for some of the investors in these platforms. But we're going to have a closer look because it is constantly developing. The developers themselves are constantly trying to upgrade it, trying to improve the experience, make sure that the money stays within the platform. And obviously the rest of us, like our YouTube channel here, we want to test both the withdrawals, how we deposit, and that's what this video is all about today, plus the latest and greatest so that Solar Farm has to offer, because we have seen new things that they also introduced that wasn't part of the first section. We started off only with the 14.28%, and then on top of this we had a special compounding. For every 3 compounds or 4.5 hours, we got 1.5% up until 30 in total. That gave us another 15. Since then, that has been an additional changes to all this, which you can watch in some of our other videos, and even a long-term compounding also for up to 480 that provides you with an astonishing 30%. What is very important to understand here also is that the percentage goes into the panels that you own, but that doesn't necessarily mean that this is what you have at the end of the day. So because it all depends on the coin development, it depends on the TVL, and it has a big impact. So what happens on a daily basis on what you actually can take out of the platform. So, but this is for another video. Here we're just going to show you exactly how we have managed to take money in and out, how we have managed also to increase our fresh value, so we can take more out than we could before. So let's get started on some of all these things. Before we get to the withdrawal phase, I just want to show you the latest parts. So we had in this particular week, we had actually 2 shooting stars, and this also we mentioned in our news report. And for these solar part, that means that you get an additional bonus for compounding, for buying in here. And the first one we had was on the 29th of July. Second one was 1st of August. One was 25%, another one was 40%. At normal times, it's somewhere between 10 to 50%. On top of this, you also have some new restrictions. So if you don't want to have penalties, so basically that means that when they are announcing this shooting star 24 hours prior to a shooting star event, while it's ongoing, and 24 hours after. So any investor that decides to sell will receive a panel reduction of 50%. So obviously that is a heavy reduction if people want still to go ahead with it, obviously. Now there's many things in the Solar Farm, and we have already done 3 videos on it. And some of the things have already changed. As we said, the developers, they are constantly looking at the platform in order to help their users, and obviously also themselves, until maybe we're going to get a bit more stable when we see the casino itself go online. The best place to go and find some of all these details would also be our news report that comes out every single Friday. And again, I have to provide a bit of a warning, because this project, it is very young, it is very high risk. So definitely don't go in with this with your eyes closed. You have to at least watch the videos here. You can go on our webpage also to find more information. Then do your own diligence, and please, please, please make sure that you don't use any of your rent money or other funds that you need for your family. So even though this has a high return at the end of the day, it's simply not that simple. So make sure that you only invest with money that you are ready to lose, and we really mean this.
The data on this website is for your information only. It does not constitute professional investment advice, or advice on tax or legal matters. Please remember that all investment strategies and investments involve risk of loss. Nothing contained in this video should be construed as investment advice. Any reference to an investment's past or potential performance is not, and should not be construed as, a recommendation or as a guarantee of any specific outcome or profit in the future.
So we're at a point just where the shooting star is going to be finished here. And if we have a quick look before we sell out, the total value at the moment is 958 BNB, exchange rate 18,587, and then return on the investment, that is the standard one for 14.28% daily. The shooting star is currently still active, and it's active basically 24 hours before, so people can't sell off, and also last for 24 hours, and then the next 24 hours it's another period where you will also be penalized. If you are selling, you will basically lose 50% of the solar panels at that particular time. Where you also see it below is you can see the abuse indicators here. Says we are safe on the abuse, the dump is safe, the spam is safe, but the star abuse is still unsafe, and that's why we need to continue to wait until we get the all clear. One of the things that you can see here also now is that the power value is past the 4 BNB. The idea here is today that we're going to take out exactly 4 BNB and then take it out as a cell power, show you how exactly that works. So let's wait until the panel time is over, which is just a few minutes away, and then we'll go through everything. So we're now 10-15 minutes into after the solar flare has finished, so that means after the 24-hour waiting period, and we have seen some huge changes. Just have a look at this. The total value locked has completely dropped, 754 BNB. Just before we were in there, it was 958. The exchange panels has also gone up, 26,806 panels, and before we had 18,587. So again, huge change. Return on investment obviously hasn't changed. We see our shooting star event is basically over, and if we want to double check, we can always have a look at the different abuse, dump, spam, and here star abuse. It says now we are safe, and if we have a closer look at the numbers, which have changed dramatically, we go in here, panels owned is still the same, nothing has really changed here, but the panel value has now dropped to 31.23, and before, if you remember, we actually had 45.13, so a massive drop in the panel value. Power generated, we're not really interested in that much, and then the power value, which is basically the money that we are supposed to take out, has also dropped from 4.36 down to 3 BNB. Obviously, we need to wait a bit longer to accumulate up to the 4 BNB that we wanted to show you we're going to take out. But this is a very interesting development that shows exactly what happens during these solar flares, what happens to the total value locked, and what a big impact it has on the entire platform. So before we sell, let's just have a quick look at the platform again. We can see that the total value locked has dropped considerably, and also the exchange rate has gone up. So obviously 1 BNB provides you even more panels now. The important part here, that before we take any money out, is having a look at the shooting star and make sure that we are not getting any penalties, and we can scroll down here and see everything is currently safe. We are ending up with a bit less than we expected, so we wanted to get 4 BNB out, so just to line up with our fresh value. But because of the big sale that has been going on, it has been very difficult to actually get the power value up. So we're going to change the strategy a bit and take out 3.5 BNB instead. So and that's what we're going to try and do now. So not compounding, so not going here. What we just need to have a look at so we can see what has changed is the panels owned, obviously. So that will not change here. The panel value at the moment continues to drop a bit, and that's why we want to go back and compound again. Total deposits so far is 9.78, and then the fresh value is 4.38 at the moment, and allowance is 23 BNB. And here you can see the wallet balance that we currently have, and obviously we will now add 3.5 BNB to this. What we basically do is, since we want the 3.5 out, just add the slider over here up to a certain percentage until we hit the 3.5. So right about there, click the show power, and then we confirm the amount that is in here. And after this, we just have to wait a moment, and then it'll come up with the confirmation of this. And there you have it. So the power value is now down, so to 0.3, and that means we can now go in and compound. We can see the wallet balance here has now gone up to 3.5 BNB, so it's basically lying in our MetaMask wallet. And total deposits, fresh value, none of them have changed so far. All we have to do is we can now do a compound. So let's do a compound. Might as well add that to the video here. We click confirm, and then it will be another couple of seconds until that will also go back in. And the power value has now gone down to 0. We can see that the current compounding is starting all over again, so it's at 1. Our bonus tier is 0, so obviously yes, we have lost everything, but this is what we do in order to show you. And then the cooldown status has started the countdown, and then we set our timer so we know that we can go in and rebuy after 1.5 hours. What we now want to do also is show you how you can actually buy panels again. So we're going to use part of the money that we have just taken out. We're going to add that back into it and see the changes that we will have here. So the strategy that we previously mentioned here is we're going to take about the fresh value out normally, and then we add 20% back into it again. And that's what we're going to try to do now. So 20% of 3.5 BNB is 0.7. And if we click for this one here, we will just do this. It will tell you the estimated amount of pounds, so 24,524 pounds. We will have now added to this, and all we have to do again is buy the panels. Obviously this is best done during a solar flare, but obviously we want to make this video for you to make sure that you have all the details on the ins and outs. And then we do the confirmation button here, and again we have to wait a few moments, and then hopefully we'll see some change and confirmation, and there you basically have it. Now the interesting part here was that our deposit went up. So we had just below the 9 BNB here before, and now it's gone up to 10.5. And also the allowance, so with the 0.7 BNB that was in here, it also times 5. So basically ends up our allowance is now 20 BNB. But what didn't happen, and what we actually did expect it to do, so was the fresh value was also going up. So with the 0.7 part, and it didn't do that. So we did have some information that it might not happen, and this is basically down to that you are taking more money out on this particular time than what we added back in, as you saw right now. Last time when we took out just about 2 BNB and we added most probably just a bit more than 2 BNB, the fresh value went up. So that is obviously something that we need to have a look at in our strategy for the future. But right now we are compounding again. Obviously We want to see if we can get up to 30% overall, so the maximum tier, and see if we can beat the inflation. So there you have it. So this is basically all you have to do on the platform, and I hope this was informative so you understand that these ups and downs is not only happening to you, you can also see it on our particular platform. So it is part of the buying and selling, it is part of the setup for the platform itself, and obviously it can be a bit frustrating. So we just have to iterate again here that this is not for the new crypto investors. So definitely you need to have a certain understanding of how this operates, because there is quite a bit of a roller coaster involved in investing with such platforms as Solar Farm. We really like it. We like the compounding and like all the aspects of it in here. Yes, you have to be quite active on it, but at the end of the day, we have already made quite a bit of profit on this one compared to what we added in, and obviously we're still in here. We are risk-free and we are enjoying the ride so far, and we'll continue also to report on any news that there will be. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give us a like, thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any of our new exciting projects. Thank you for today, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.